Welcome to Unity with Pam, with your host, Pam Willis-Hovey.
Hello and welcome back to a special edition of Unity. We are here on location at Tree of Life Healthcare, and I have a wonderful man. He is here in our city. He is the legendary Ellis Hall. I want to go ahead and say welcome to Unity.
Oh, I am so excited about being here. Yes, big girls rule. All right, Miss Pam, Unity, Tree of Life Healthcare. Hey.
I'm telling you, I was telling him before we got started, my father, Pastor Willie Willis Jr., Move of God Ministries, is always this way. And it is such a delight to meet somebody that is such full of spirit as you are. And I want my viewers to know who Ellis Hall is, because some people may not know about you.
Well, I've been professionally in the business for 45 years, and I do call myself the poster boy of perseverance, persistence, and determination. Just to give you a quick rundown, I have worked with the likes of Temptations, The Spinners, Earth, Wind & Fire, Natalie Cole, James Taylor, to name a few. There's so many people that I've been blessed to work with. I was the lead vocalist with a group called the Tower of Power. What is it? Tell me if you think you know. And now that we're a little older, it's, oh, my hip. And I've worked only in America. Can you go from being a teenage nut to a California raisin to a singing rooster? That's right, I was a California raisin. I am proud of it. Yes, indeed. When the chickens are dancing in Chicken Run with Mel Gibson, I'm singing, flip, flop, and fly. I don't care if I die. So all the kids were calling me the Chicken Run guy for a long time. And I've worked with animated features like, Shrek 2. Oh, it's been...
I love Shrek.
I sing it with Puss in Boots, and also Lion King 2, and even Hercules, the movie Hercules, I was in that. And every time I mention something, my wife finds out something new. My wife, Leala, from Leala J Management, whoop, whoop, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Got to get that plug in there. She is my baby, and I'm honored that she's agreed to come on and help me do what I do, which I lovingly call spreading my music ministry around the world. And speaking of spreading the ministry, July 4th, we are blessed enough to be performing at the Boston Pops Esplanade show, the fireworks show. So if y'all get a chance, tune in. And 500,000 of our closest friends watching and getting crazy live. And then 200,000 on the 3rd, so 500,000 on the 4th, with millions around the world. So how blessed is that?
Let me ask you this. A lot of people are looking and they see you with your shades on.
Yes.
Is it all right if I tell people that you're blind?
Oh, absolutely. I call myself differently abled. And when I signed to Ray Charles' label, I got to work the last few years of his life and be a consultant on the Ray Charles story. Ray and I had a lot in common. We both had some vision and lost it later in life. So I do remember what pretty ladies and sunsets look like. Oh, yeah, thank you, God. And what colors look like. So I speak about all the time in my music. I have a big old box of crayons, and I'm honored to share them. So, yes, being blind, differently abled. Bottom line, nothing stops us but us. And I have just powered my way through life, this music. I am the vessel, and somebody asked me recently if I've written songs. Yes, I've been the vessel of over 3,500.
One thing I want to ask you, too, is you have a lot of work out there, and you work with so many, many people. Did you always know this is what you were going to do? Not always. Although my mom swears I came out of the womb dancing and singing, and I said, ow, that must have hurt. I'm sorry, that's just craziness. But when I was about 8 years old, I'd be standing on the corner and singing doo-wop with all my friends. People started throwing things, and I thought at first they were mad. But I realized that they were throwing money. So all I knew at that time is I could buy enough, I'd get enough money to buy chips and soda. And I'd come home, my mom would say, boy, where'd you get all that money? And I say, Mom, people were throwing it at. Don't you lie to me, boy. Now, she was from Georgia. I was born in Savannah, Georgia, and raised in Boston. You never make a Georgia mama mad. Don't do it. But when I was 14, I snuck into a club. My mom found out later, yes. I snuck into a club and saw the looks on the faces of the band. Not the audience, but the band, as they were whipping the audience into shape. And I literally had my epiphany. So from the age of 14 until now, I've been in the trenches doing what I do, having a brilliant time. Like I said, 45 years in the business, and I am a proud 62.
I tell you what, you look wonderful for 62. We've got a couple of minutes.
Yes.
One thing I always tell people on Unity with Pam is we make an appeal to the community, to the crowd, to the world.
Yes.
Somebody is coming behind you, and somebody is like you, is visually impaired, and saying, you know what, I'm looking at you, Ellis. You make it sound easy, but for me, I'm at a point where I don't think that I just can do it. Make an encouraging word to somebody to let them know that they can go on and that they can do it.
Well, yes. I said earlier, nothing stops us but us. First of all, it's been said before, and I'm going to say it again, God always has our back. If we remember that, and that's the hardest thing, like how fragile this world is we live in, caught in the fight of the day. I can't see the gifts I've been given when anger is clouding the way. When you have things, that's from a friend of mine, he wrote a tune for me called Joy to Life. When you have those challenges before you, remembering that you're not in the fight alone. And you just keep going, keep walking. Life, meaning the present, is a gift. It's a celebration. And if we forget to celebrate, just like forgetting to use our gifts we've been given, they go away. Regardless of whether we see physically, our vision is always there from the soul, and the vision is light. It's always there. Just like this music, the power is always there. It never fails. They ask me if I ever get writer's block. No, I don't, because it's just the choice for me to tune into that choice. The music is there. Just let it be. So come on and celebrate with me. If by chance you're forgetting, as differently abled, how to celebrate, maybe listen to a song. And let the groove come through.
Mr. Ellis Hall, thank you so much for doing Unity with Pam. We're going to commercial break, then we're coming back with his wonderful wife, Leala.
God bless. Thank you.
Unity with Pam is being brought to you by these great sponsors.
When you've been hurt in an accident, it helps to have experienced and knowledgeable attorneys to help you in your time of need. For over 30 years, our office has been helping victims in auto and truck accidents or with work-related injuries. We resolve thousands of cases both in and out of court. So if you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault,
talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
For your free consultation, call today, 1-855-GO-ASK-WALT.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Local Church Connection is an exciting new publication in the Columbus area. Local Church Connection is a magazine that offers free advertising to Christian churches. Our circulation is 10,000, and we're free to pick up at over 100 locations in Columbus, Harris County, and Phoenix City. Be on the lookout for our new May-June edition of Local Church Connection. For business or church advertising, contact Tricia Jeans at 706-244-6413. And check out our website at localchurchconnection.com.
Welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this great thing to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Hello and welcome back to a special edition of Unity. We're here on location at Tree of Life, and I have the wonderful Leala J Management Company CEO sitting next to me. Leala,
Hi.
I want to go ahead and say welcome to Unity.
Well, I'm so honored to be here, Pam, and we've, of course, gotten a chance to know each other by phone, and I just feel that I had seen your show before, so I'm honored to be here.
I am too. You've got an impressive bio. You've done Tony. You've done Howard Hewitt. How did you get started to be so young to manage so many illustrious people?
Well, I mean, it started actually purely, really. I don't believe that there are coincidences, but in the mid '80s, I started in radio. I worked in radio, doing actually implementing the sales team for KJAY, the Valley Sunset Music show in Sacramento, California, and I had done so well, and I just was such a focused person that my mentor, Hewitt Robinson, he actually started teaching me about promotions because he had clubs that he was doing, and ultimately that led me to an opportunity to go out with one of the very first hip-hop tours ever, major hip-hop tours, which was the Fresh Festival, and that featured the likes of Houdini, Run DMC, the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper. I mean, the transition. There were so many of the artists who've paved the way that were on that tour, and so Dougie Fresh. I just could go down Joski Love, UTFO. Like I say, Heavy D when he was still heavy and he was still with the boys. That's right. And went from there to New Kids on the Block with Maury Starr. And I transitioned into television and film with William Marshall, that many know from the movie Blackula. It was a blaxploitation film, and what many people didn't know, many people that saw it didn't understand that it was supposed to be within the genre of exploitation, but he took it and he said, "Hey, look, I want to create some pride for the African American community," and so he gave the character some substance, having been from Africa and having been a prince and been concerned about the slave trade, and he gave him an African name because in the 70s that was very, very that was really very prevalent. People were kind of taking back taking back their identities, and there was a lot of pride associated with being black and by power and that kind of thing, and so that was during that time. And I met him when I was 10 years old, and then later on in life, he convinced me that I could actually and should be, his manager. And from there, we went on. He did The Maverick with Jodie Foster, Mel Gibson, and Kenny Rogers, and he did Amazon Women on the Moon with Arsenio Hall's spoof, Leslie Nielsen. And he was the king of cartoons with the Pee Wee Herman show, and he was doing a series of one-man plays. Paul Robeson, one based on Frederick Douglass. He was very consistent with his belief in perpetuating honor amongst people and encouraging it, and I like that. And so, but I've been blessed, like I said, going back into music and working with the Gap Band, Charlie Wilson, George Clinton, Tony Terry, Howard Hewitt, Phil Perry, Glenn Jones on the Just the Four of Us tour. Confunction Daz Band. I also represent the lead singer for the Daz Band, Skip Martin, and people know him, from Let It Whip, and my husband said, "There's no time to lose," but doing, but actually being out on the road and touring, and of course our company is going more into television and film, so I'm doing film casting. We're going into production for Walk by Faith, which is a faith-based feature film that will, we have a very stellar cast for that, and it is a feature, an independent feature, which means that it has we have a new director. He's an up and coming, but our funding, all that stuff was done. I have several other projects that I'm working with as well, and companies, and also being a part of the production team for that. So, and of course, working with my husband, Ellis Hall, the legendary Ellis Hall, and which is quite an honor. in and of itself. And of course, my client who will be here for the conference tomorrow, Dr. Roger Williamson, who is he's one of the featured doctors for ABC's TV show The Doctors. So, which is God has really been very wonderful. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Bible said he'll make room for your gift, and he'll set you before great men and women such as yourself. So, we thank God and don't take it lightly or for granted.
Well, they're giving me the cue. I've got a few minutes, but you've done so many things, and people are looking at you. She looks very young. Wife, mother, may I say grandmother?
You know what? I'm very proud. But you can say grandma. I coined the phrase grandma when my grandson was born 5 years ago because we were trying to figure out what he was going to call me, and I was like, no, I'm not a grandma. I'm too young. I'm not. And then one day, all of a sudden, we were playing. I was like, come to grandma, and so I just kind of threw that out the park. But yes, I am Benjamin Bohr. That is my grandson, and I love him to pieces. So.
Well, I wanted to say something real quick and just give you 1 minute to make an appeal. But there's somebody who's a wife and a mother and saying, I'm listening to you, Leala. How are you able to manage all of this? I want to do what you're doing, but I'm not sure if I can do it. Mm-hmm. Encourage them.
Okay. Well, people always talk about the fact that I quote scripture all the time. And the Bible says that many are called, but few are chosen. So whatever it is, make sure that your election is sure. So whatever it is that you think you want to do or you believe you're called to do, pray about that and walk in that calling outside of, sometimes we try to do things on our own, we can't. But just being just being a wife and a mother is in and of itself is one of the greatest jobs that there ever was. But if you want to get out there and you want to do something, study, learn your craft, learn what it is that you want to do, and apply. Put your time in and go for it. I don't put limitations on myself. I don't put myself in a box. I don't allow others to put me in a box. And so do that. Go out there and with confidence. And I also would like to say, I have two beautiful daughters, and I'd like to say hello to my daughters, Danielle Bohr and Christina Glenn, over at the Infantry Museum. Woohoo! Hoo-hoo! What is it? They say? Hoo-ah! 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 The Infantry Museum. Hoo-ah! Hey, Fort Benning.
Well, I want to tell you, Leala, thank you so much for coming to my show. We're going to a commercial break, then we're coming back to the CEO of Tree of Life, Pastor Lowell Clyde.
Unity with Pam is being brought to you by these great sponsors.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
You love your parents, and it's hard to see them struggle to keep their independence. Magnolia Manor can give your parents the assistance they need to enjoy life. You won't have to worry if they are eating well or taking their medications properly. And they'll be in a safe, secure environment with no need to worry about cleaning house or doing yard work. Visit magnoliamanor.com to learn more. Magnolia Manor, just down the road. A community of convenience, caring, and fun.
My name is Japal. 2 years ago, I received a kidney transplant. When I was 21 years old, I started dialysis, and for 7.5 years, I was a patient receiving treatments 3 times a week for 4 hours each session, and man, it was hard. After receiving my kidney transplant, I was able to find and marry the love of my life. My kidney transplant gave me my life back.
You have the power to donate life. Be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. To find out how, go today to donatelifegeorgia.org.
Local Church Connection is an exciting new publication in the Columbus area. Local Church Connection is a magazine that offers free advertising to Christian churches. Our circulation is 10,000, and we're free to pick up at over 100 locations in Columbus, Harris County, and Phoenix City. Be on the lookout for our new May-June edition of Local Church Connection. For business or church advertising, contact Tricia Jeans at 706-2 832-44-6413. And check out our website at localchurchconnection.com.
Hello, welcome back to a special edition. We are here on location at Tree of Life, and I'm telling you, had some wonderful guests before him, but now he is also the man that brought us here. He is Pastor Lowell Clyde, and he is the CEO of Tree of Life Healthcare here in Columbus, Georgia. I want to go ahead and say welcome to Unity.
Thank you, Ms. Pam, for having me, and thank you for coming and filming here on set today at Tree of Life, and just a great joy, and not only for you to be here, but also for your previous guests, Leala. Met her years ago in ministry, and what a blessing it is to see her again, and her wonderful husband, the legendary Ellis Hall, and I went and looked at some of his work, and just so pleased, and we're proud and honored to have them here at Tree of Life. Thank you for making this happen.
And there's one other person. She did not come on this camera, so I'm going to let you mention her.
Yes, thank you very much. The love of my life, and the Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. So that's why I can say I'm here today, what God has done for us, because of my wife and her support, and encouraging me to move forward and to do the things that God has called me to do. And so it's a partnership. It's been a great partnership, and will continue to be.
Well, what made you want to decide to do a healthcare clinic, in addition to being a pastor, but to do a healthcare clinic?
Well, years ago, my wife, of course, being in the medical profession, came home and just shared the story with me about this young child, I guess around 10, 12 years old, and he was living with his grandmother, who was his guardian, and she was on a fixed income, and he was diagnosed with a sinus infection. And been in the middle of the month, toward the end of the month, she decided to wait, of course, until she got her check to buy the prescription that the doctor had prescribed. And in that meantime, the child died. And that was something that just stayed on my mind. I went to bed with it. I woke up with it. And one day, just riding down Tarleton Road, if you're familiar with Columbus, by Buck Ice, I was just out of frustration one moment, said, Lord, somebody need to do something. And the voice came back to me, you do something. And so that's where I sat down before the Lord and put together a business plan and the type of clinic that I would want to be in, regardless if I had the money or didn't have the money. You know, what type of atmosphere would I want to come into? You know, so we say here at Tree of Life that our mission is medical, but our purpose is to share the love of Jesus Christ. So whoever comes through those doors, we want to love them and show them that God has a good plan for their life, and we want to be more than just the medical piece, because we believe that God wants everyone to be whole.
You know, one thing I want to ask you too, what are some of the needs are you seeing in the community that prompted you to take action to do this?
Even we have the Affordable Care Act that President Obama brought forth. There's still a great need for quality and free medical care. And even though we have some institutions in our area, we're blessed, there's still a waiting list, sometimes 2 and 3 months out, just to get screened to see the doctor. And so we believe that the model for us would be hiring a full-time staff, augmented with volunteers, and working with different agencies in the community that we can be able to offer, I should say, 35,000 appointments to our community on an annual basis. That's both in East Alabama and West Georgia. We are blessed, of course, to be here on the campus of Columbus Regional. We're working with them, and we're working with the emergency department along with the engineering care program. We'll be working with Mercer University with their physician assistant students, and Charlotte University with their nurse practitioners, also working with Columbus Technical College, Columbus State University, and Miller Mott, and of course the West Georgia Cancer Coalition for Women. And one of the things also that caught me off guard, we know that we have one of our board members who worked with the Department of Family and Children Services. And unbeknown to me, though, even in Georgia we have Peace Care. But when that child reaches age 18, if they don't have a guardian or a parent that was going to put them on the insurance program, they become uninsured as well. So we become the medical home for those young adults also.
What do you say, one thing I want to ask you, and I want to see how you feel about this. Some people say, well, what's the purpose of having a clinic when 2014 everybody's going to had to have health insurance anyway? How do you combat that?
Because, number one, we'll never go to socialized medicine in this country. It just won't happen. I have some friends who have family members that's in Europe and dealing with that. The Affordable Care Act was never meant to be a socialized program. When you have unemployment, you have other things that, well, let's put it this way. Simply put, there will always be a need to have free, quality health insurance, regardless of the program the government offers. And we want to be standing in that gap. One of the other things that concerns us and concerns the doctors in the emergency department here on the campus is that, you know, that in Muscle County we have the Injured Care Fund. But if you're not a citizen here in this county, and being a medical hub here for the area, both Georgia and Alabama, if you're not, again, a resident, once they treat you in an emergency room, then that's it. So there's no follow-up. And so that been their frustration. So what we'll do is fill that gap for them. So they'll assign those patients to us that's outside of our county here in Columbus.
Well, before we close this show out, tell people if they want to give money and they want to help with equipment and staffing, how they can do that, how they can contact you, Pastor.
They can go to www.facebook.com/Tree of Life Healthcare, and there's also, you can go to donate and go to GoFundMe, and they'll navigate the system there. That is a program that you can give any amount for a short period of time, and that's for 4 months. Also, of course, on that web page is www.treeoflifehealthcare.org, and we have a $20 a month campaign there if they want to be a annual contributor. But the funds are greatly needed. We need, of course, funds to hire staff and to buy equipment so we can make this possible for those that in need, individuals and families.
Well, Pastor Clyde, thank you so much for coming on my show. Thank you for us allowing to do the show here at Tree of Life, and always show love in the community.
When you've been hurt in an accident, it helps to have experienced and knowledgeable attorneys to help you in your time of need. For over 30 years, our office has been helping victims in auto and truck accidents or with work-related injuries. We resolve thousands of cases both in and out of court. So if you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault,
Talk to Walt. Talk to Walt. Talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt. For your free consultation, call today, 1-855-GO-ASK-WALT.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Thank you for watching Unity with Pam. If you would like to be a sponsor, please contact us or visit unitywithpam.org. Production for Unity with Pam is provided by At Motion Media Incorporated.